1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you aboard. Thanks for being part of our show on a Thursday. Our Thursday is always brought to you by our friends at Stanley Pools, the best pool company around since 1988. They've done pools for us. They service our pool on a regular basis. They've rebuilt our backyard with pergolas and walls and all that kind of stuff, pavers, so they can do it all for you. Stanley Pools, the number is 904-269-7277. If you want a pool company you can trust, the best in town, Stanley Pools. Frangie and Carline and La Selva with you. We'll talk Masters in just a bit. It's a beautiful day in Augusta, but we also will start the program. We were downtown today, Hayes, with the Liam Cohen and James Gladstone met with the assembled media. About 26 members of the media were there listening. Love talking to those guys. Love hearing from those guys. I don't know that I learned a lot, but that means they creatively didn't say a lot. There wasn't a lot to say, but I like those two dudes though. You can tell they have a fun bond together. You know, I mean, you can tell they're like buddies. You know, so I thought it was I thought that they kidded each other. I thought it was kind of funny today.
Yeah, this was a little different than Balky and Peterson.
It was a little different.
A little different. When they would both just sit there straight on and maybe acknowledge each other here and there. But this was very much a couple of friends that, you know, were basically could have been being asked about a golf vacation they were getting ready to take, you know, or something like that. But yeah, very chummy. You know, spent a lot of the press conference, particularly Gladstone, like turned almost towards Liam, a very, you know, friendly body language. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of that, that's not a surprise. You know, we've seen it, you know, out at even going back to practice last year, you know, when you go out there to watch 15 minutes of stretching, you'd often see Gladstone, Baselli, and Cohen, you know, having a friendly conversation, you know, so I think that's been important to every party since this trio got going, and I think it's just going to strengthen, particularly since they're having such great success immediately. But yeah, I mean, I think the tenor of this draft, and I thought that Gladstone hit it, is, you know, they are operating from a position of strength. Yeah, they don't have a first round pick, but they have 11 picks. And they also just have a very healthy, balanced roster. I mean, they just don't have a lot of slots where you would look at it and say, well, that's begging for a rookie to come in and play 500 snaps this year, whether it's on the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball. There just doesn't seem to be that opportunity now. Now, injuries will happen, and that will open things up. But for this stage of the build for the coming season, normally, particularly for the Jaguars, normally you've got real issues going into the draft that you've got to get solved. Like you're looking for starters out of the draft class to come in, plug and play, and be able to take that on. They don't have that. You know, Gladstone talked about, you know, it's going to be, you know, more contributing slots than, you know, starters is sort of how he phrased it. And they're in a great position. So, again, I don't think they'll use 11 picks. I don't think 11 draft picks can make this 53-man roster. So I would think they'll be active on Saturday. And I don't think they could trade up in the second round if a player's there at like 45, move up 11 spots. That wouldn't be overly costly. But my guess is they'll probably make 4 selections on that Friday. And then with the 7 selections they have on Saturday, that will become probably more like 5. As they try and move some capital to 27 and you know, and so forth. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, obviously they're in such a good spot that this draft is probably the least consequential draft that they've had in a very long time. I mean, I guess you could say in 18, you know, they were in pretty good shape, but the offense wasn't. They ended up taking Taven Bryan, but the offense, you could have argued, maybe needed some help, but they're in a very, very healthy place, much healthier than most of the teams in the NFL.
Tell you what I took out of a handful of things. Number one, I did think the funniest moment was when they were talking about how they evaluate tape and how when the coaches get involved. Gladstone says, I look at a tape of a player and I make my evaluations and I get ready to move on to the next player until Liam gets involved. And Liam says he looks at this and how does he fit this scheme and how does he fit that scheme? And Gladstone tried to say, well, you know, just it takes a little longer. So it was funny. They were going back and forth. Gladstone was like, man, I'm good until Liam comes in. Now instead of taking 15 minutes to evaluate a guy, it's an hour, and it was really fun. I thought you can tell they're buddies and they're giving each other a hard time. So I thought that was a fun part to me. So I took that out of it. It does look like I did get this impression that the two areas that we know they want to address are the two spots on the defensive front. And I do believe, I get the impression they think there's some guys there. Did you get the impression there's some edges there? I mean, he was pretty clear about that.
Yeah, I mean, he said that's the deepest position in the draft is defensive end, edge rusher, and they absolutely will take one.
And I thought Rick Ballou asked a really good question to Gladstone. Ballou asked, he said, if you follow all the narrative, the public narrative is the defensive tackles out there aren't great pass rushers. They can be run stuffers, but people aren't glowing about those guys. And I thought Gladstone had a pretty good answer. He said, number one, a lot of times guys are better than they get projected on mocks. But he also said most defensive tackles aren't good pass rushers. He said, if you find one that is, well, then he's a first-round guy.
Yeah, top 5 pick.
Yeah, correct. And so most of them aren't. So I thought his answer was better. But listen, here's what I took out of it. The media was there. It was a good vibe today. You can tell they're all at a good place. Baselli sat in the back of the room for part of it. He wasn't even up there. It was just James and Liam. And you can tell they're confident where they are. 2 or 3 things. If you haven't seen Liam Cohen in a while, he's ripped. I mean, Liam Cohen he lost 40 pounds, and now he's in good shape. Do you notice that? He looks like workout guy now.
Yeah, that was a Baselli thing.
Yeah, it was. Baselli got him working out. He looks like workout guy now. But no, I thought it was a good meet. I don't think we learned a lot. I think, and it's kind of good that we didn't, because I think the storyline is what you said. They got a good roster. Don't overthink it. Add to it. Supplement it. The way your roster continues to be good is continue to add good players. But that whole raise the floor thing that they did last year, that they really focused on last year, well, clearly that happened. They have clearly raised the floor, which is a big part of what they're trying to do.
The other thing, too, it's going to be hard to learn anything when the team is drafting 56th as their first pick. I mean, we've covered draft luncheons where the organization has had multiple first-round picks, and you're in control of the draft, as much as pretty much any team out there. Do you package those picks, move up to the top 5? So we've covered a lot of Jaguar drafts. I mean, honestly, it's been kind of the biggest event of the calendar year when the team has been awful, which has been the majority of the time. So the draft became every bit is, it talked about as any game would be. That's just not the case now. They're not in control of the draft by their design. To get Travis Hunter, they conceded that, the 26th draft was not going to be one that they were going to be overly involved in. I think, which was smart. I mean, I think this draft is lackluster, but but in looking at it, so it's hard. What can they really say? They can't project. They have there's 50. If they stay where they are, 55 guys are coming off the board before they select. Now, once they get to 56, then it becomes frantic. It's going to be a lot of fun because they're going to have 4 new players inside of about 45 picks. Again, if they stay, where they are, they've got the 56th pick, and then they have 3 picks in the 3rd round, that final pick being pick 100. So it's just hard. It's hard to get up there and ask or hard to really answer any sort of, draft question projecting wise. Because they just don't, they don't have control because of their positioning, and it's you just don't know what's going to happen. So much is going to happen before they're on the clock. But I think they're in a really good place. Yeah. It was funny, the banter between the two. Liam was asked about evaluating defensive players, and you could tell Gladstone kind of chuckled at that.
Yeah, right, he did.
Liam says he said all the right things. Right. Like, I've used to watch film with my dad, and so I and then at the very end he's like, but I do like watching it when they have the ball in their hand.
He said, when my dad was recruiting all those guys from New Hampshire and Maine, and it was funny. And 2 other things that stood out. One other thing that really stood out is Ryan O'Halloran asked him about Carson Beck. It was interested in how, and I think he would have said this about any of the quarterbacks, how much Liam commented on, how well he knows Beck. He said, got a lot of experience. He said, at George, I thought it was very interesting. He Georgia, he did a lot of that back to the defense stuff, which is what you do in an I formation. You're under center and you play fake and your back's to the defense and you drop bases. Then he gets to Miami and it's totally different. It's more spread and getting the ball out of your hands, like turning double plays. And I thought that was interesting. I thought it was very interesting that he really thinks a lot of Carson Beck. Now, again, you could have named 4 or 5 of the top quarterbacks and he would have known them. But I thought it was interesting. I thought his comments about Carson Beck. Didn't you find that? I found it very interesting.
He wrapped it up by
really
saying
knew.
He's got a shot.
Yeah, he's really. All right, there's a lot of things to talk about today on the program. We'll certainly talk more about that coming to Masters. I did take a look at the Loser Monday board. Have you seen the Loser Monday board?
I have seen it.
Maybe not a good start for Johnny Rahm.
No, he's got to figure it out pretty quick. He has played the front 9 and is yet to birdie. Jon Rahm has as many birdies today as we have, which is not a good way to play Augusta National. And so he went out in 40.
Yeah.
He's got to figure it out pretty quick.
Scheffler is
about time this streak ended, folks.
Yeah, it is. Send him the bonos, Jon Rahm, for God's sake.
About damn time.
Yeah, but here's what'll happen. He'll make 12 birdies in the next 13 holes, and Carline still won't have to go. But
he just hit a really long putt, and I looked up thinking it was a birdie. It was just a safe par.
Okay,
hey, I'll
so
take
he's
it.
really
anything to jumpstart a round.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, our other 2 picks, Scheffler, I got him at 3 under. Xander Schauffele, I have it 2 under, I think, for the day, right?
Yeah, he's finished.
Scheffler
got off to a really hot start. He was basically 3 under through 3 holes.
Yeah, and he's been at 3 under. I think.
How about Rory?
Yeah, and Rory, and the story. I mean, Sam Burns is playing great, but Rory, because he's Rory, the defending champion, off to a great start.
And he started terribly. Everything off the tee was all over the place. He had to scramble the first few holes, and man, he's been fantastic.
But he didn't have any. He stayed bogey free, and then he got hot, so he's 5 under. For the day. All right, speaking of golf, our friend Lee Smith is here. He is our golf analyst. He's also the executive director of the Players Championship. A lot of golf talk coming up. Great to have Lee back in studio. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Center, Brad Meester. Big shout out to everybody in Duval.
I'm Brad Meester on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Our next in-store signing coming up this month is with Jaguars offensive lineman Ezra Cleveland. He'll be at Showtime signing autographs Tuesday, April 21st from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. That's Ezra Cleveland, Tuesday, April 21st. It's Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Who's got the game to tame the challenging terrain of Augusta National?
Scheffler outshines them all at Augusta.
Listen for 1010XL Masters updates, pitched by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Spring is here. Time to get your lawn ready before summer heat and bugs set in. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They offer preventative chinch bug treatments, pre-emergent weed control, and granular fertilization, all with no contracts. This helps prevent problems before damage occurs, keeping lawns thicker, greener, and stronger. Call today to schedule your spring treatment. Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Lauren Brooks here, and if you're getting a tax refund this year, here's a great way to use it. Invest in new tires from Big Chief Tires. I've trusted the Parman family for years because they always take care of my car like it's their own. New tires make your ride safer and more reliable, and that's worth every penny. Schedule the best service in town at WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 and put your refund to work.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Track, Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the Checkmate chess man.
At most companies, people start on the ground floor and work their way up to the corner office. At Checkmate, I started on the ground floor, and almost 20 years in, that's still where I am, making ground floors look awesome, one garage at a time.
Well, I started as a pawn and worked my way up to king.
No, you didn't. Some guy drew you as a king. I asked them to give you a roller, so at least you'd look like one of the guys.
Yes, I rather would have preferred a sword.
At Checkmate, I work personally with our teams to perfect the preparation and application techniques that make Checkmate floors beautiful and durable.
And I keep things classy with my adorable accent.
Beautiful floors?
Check. Guaranteed to last?
Check. The finishing touch your home deserves? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
All right, sports fans, Hicken here, and let's talk skin. Beaches Dermatology reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Summer's almost here, gang, and that means more time outside. You're grabbing the clubs for your tea time. You're heading out to the boat. Just headed to the beach. Definitely bring the sunscreen. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up, so get your lady a gift card for some skin care. We know women love their skin. Beaches Dermatology, give them a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Here it comes
on 1010XL.
All right, it is time to talk little golf. Our buddy Lee Smith is here, finally back in studio. Lee, thanks for being so flexible. We've been out and about and having to change the times around, but 4:15 in studios when we're supposed to do this. So good to have you. How are you?
Absolutely, doing great. It's I'd love to say it's a beautiful day outside, but it's much more beautiful on TV than it is outside for us.
Yeah. Okay. So let's not bury the lead. Let's get right to it. The Masters underway. What are your expectations for the course this week? Fast. They apparently it's been dry. So they expect it to run a little bit today. What are your expectations this week? We'll get into today in a minute, but this week.
Well, I think as you've always asked me leading up to the Players Championship, from a rules and agronomy and a course setup standpoint, you'd always love to be able to control the moisture. That, hey, I have control over how firm it plays or how soft it plays, as opposed to rain leading in or forecast the week of. And it looks brilliant up there as far as they've been able to control the firmness leading in and the appearance of the golf course. And then it looks like the forecast is obviously in their favor also. So I think the tournament will play exactly like they want it to, which will be somewhat firm and fast. I think you're already seeing, balls bouncing on the greens. And I saw a couple shots going into like that high right, front right area on 16 that the ball's bouncing and, taking that first kind of 10 to 12 foot bounce and then stopping. So I can only imagine, I think an interesting look. Everybody starts on number 1 at Augusta, which is, a really cool thing. But is to see kind of how the early-late matchup goes with late-early, because you're going to have to play the golf course really firm on Friday afternoon. But you got it probably in its softest by playing this morning. And it seemed like there were some really good scores this morning, in the 2s, 3s, 4 unders type of thing. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out over the weekend and tomorrow.
Liv basically has 2 stars now. I mean, everybody else is either like a has-been or, really never got going enough to be a superstar in the game. But they have
Tell me how you really feel.
That's how I really feel. And they have,
hasn't changed much, Lee.
And they have, DeChambeau and Rahm. But what a disaster for those two today. DeChambeau 4 over 76. He's done for the day. And Rahm's going to 11 at 4 over. He's yet to birdie. This was something that was brought up this week by many analysts about the live courses that these guys are playing, because Rahm and Bryson were coming in with momentum. But the courses that they're playing just don't compare to getting battle tested on the PGA Tour for what Augusta National is going to present. And this is a perfect example of it.
Yeah, I think, look, sometimes you call things coincidences and some maybe not. I think golf courses is one thing. I think, playing consistently in no-cut events, sometimes you sharpen that competition edge on Friday afternoon when you're heading into the back nine and you got to play in 2 under par and make a couple shots up on the field to make the cut or feel comfortable playing the weekend. And then you get 36 more holes to shoot 65 and get right back into the tournament. Then certainly the shotgun starts, I think sometimes could, when you start on hole 5 and you're playing 1 through 4 to finish your round as opposed to 16 through 18 sometimes. So I think certainly a disappointing start for those guys. But you also look at it like a back 9 to play and certainly another round that certainly could turn it around.
Where are we headed with Liv? I mean, Liv's stupid. I mean, look, I wear shorts to play golf, but I don't want to watch my guys on TV wearing shorts. It's stupid, and they're playing, like you said, shotgun starts, and no one's getting cut. I mean, I'm not joking aside. Where's that? I know everybody's set for life because they had hundreds of millions of dollars in it. I get it. Where's that thing headed in 4 or 5 years, Lee? It didn't work, right? I mean, you have to be politically correct, and I get that, but I don't.
You know what's coming. Yeah.
It didn't work.
Look, I think I listened to Brian Rolap, our leader, talk about. I think we're in a place where our focus doesn't have to be there anymore.
Okay.
Our focus is obviously on the product that we control, and I think that's celebratory for the PGA Tour as a PGA Tour employee, that there can be a little bit more aggressiveness and kind of offense being played on our side to focus on ratings being up and our commercial partners renewing and participating at higher levels and creating a new model that will fit, the aspirational look at the PGA Tour. I think our number was 21 to 25 events, and then kind of a track 2 of qualifying for that aspirational part. I think that's what's probably celebratory on from a PGA Tour standpoint, is that we don't have to focus on anybody else anymore. We get to focus on ourselves and our own product, and and I think that's where you'll see a lot of announcements, as with a board meeting in June and things that come out after that as we, unveil a schedule for next year and, the possible templates for 28 is that we're really, really able to focus on what's the best way for us to move forward. And I don't think it's necessarily a surprise that you see the Brooks Koepkas and the Patrick Reeds and those that are starting to take a look at, what's the opportunity to come back and play on the PGA Tour.
There's a story going on right now at Augusta National that who knows how long it'll hold up, but we'll enjoy it as long as it does. 66-year-old Fred Couples is 2 under through 13. What did you admire about Freddie in his prime? I don't know if you've ever gotten a chance to be around him. And I mean, obviously it would be remarkable, but what would this mean for this tournament if Fred's able to take this to the back 9 Sunday in contention?
Yeah, well, I think certainly part of, Fred being able to compete there is conditioning of the golf course, playing firm and fast, that if he hits fairways, he, is not giving up near as much length and hitting longer irons into, into par 4s especially, and being able to reach par 5s that golf course sets you up for. So I think it's certainly I think you always that a first timer hasn't won there since '79 or whatever. And Fuzzy Zeller, I was listening to a couple of the analysts there on Live From, and they would take in a 91 player field at the Masters and limiting it, going, okay, a first timer's not going to win, so that eliminates these people, and the veterans and the amateurs aren't going to win, so that eliminates these people, and then you got to do this, and it all of a sudden gets down to there's like 10 guys that are more than likely going to win the tournament. That would eliminate a Chris Gotterup, or that would eliminate a Fred Couples. But I think the playing of the golf course that's firm and fast. I mean, what a story for him to just make the cut, candidly.
Oh, yeah.
And you probably are not going to find a larger fan favorite walking around that property. I can only imagine. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, but I'll be happy to follow old Fred tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning heading up there to be able to watch and see what his galleries look like, because he's certainly a fan favorite everywhere he goes.
I'm really happy you're getting to go up there. I'm happy for you to do it. And by the way, Fred took all irons out of his bag longer than a 7-iron. You know that? So he's now my hero. Okay.
Yeah.
By
just
the way,
a whole bag full of head covers.
Oh, dude, my bag looks like a puppet show. It does. And I love it. So I made my first hole-in-one, as you know, and I got so much grief for it because I used a 6 hybrid to hit a 160-yard shot. Well, I'm 1 year older than Fred. Okay, I'm claiming that. Okay, and long irons are fine if you like communism, because they're communists. Every long iron's so if you like communism, then use long irons. Okay, but long irons they're terrible. They're terrible things. They're terrible pieces of equipment, and they're communist.
Well,
that's my take.
You can even see on Tommy Fleetwood's carrying a 9 wood,
right?
And there's a lot more 7 woods. Ludwig Gobert carries a 7 wood. I think the technology of the club manufacturers to create these clubs that are as trusty and consistent as an iron, but come in much higher and softer on a green. I think it's only going to continue that way. Point is that it's no longer just for the older player that can't hit it long anymore. It's fitting on a golf course. You probably won't see as many 9 woods over at the Open Championship when you want to hit 3 irons and 2 irons on the ground and get them rolling. But to fit the golf course, I think it certainly is the right move.
What do you make of Rory? He played fantastic. I got to be honest. I wondered if Rory wouldn't be able to answer the bell, even though he had the great year last year. 500, he played great today.
Yeah, look, he's still the number 2 player in the world, and the number 1 player in the world's playing pretty darn well also. But, I think there's an argument for Rory that, he's put as much pressure on himself going into this event every year, not only because he wanted to win it as a kid, but because it was the Grand Slam closer, is that now that kind of monkey's off his back and he can play a little free and he can play the golf course like it fits him so well that now he doesn't have anything to worry about. So he's able to kind of go out and play with house money, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he were to win 3 of these over the next 6 years. He's still young. He still hits it as long as anybody. And I think when he has his short game rolling and is making some 10 to 20 footers, I think he's going to compete anywhere.
Sam Burns is co-leading with Rory right now. He's been a guy that he'll pop up, but it seems like he just hasn't been able to get that massive win. But what do you like about Sam Burns' game?
When he's playing well, Hazy just puts the lights out of it. And I think that he does everything well. He hits it a long ways, and certainly I love his demeanor. Just watching him walk is, kind of a fun thing that that nothing bothers him. But he's going to make it from just about everywhere, and that doesn't mean that you're always making birdie putts. That's you're going to have to make 6 and 8 footers to save par there. Out of bunkers or getting up and down on par 5s for birdie or whatever it might be. But Sam Burns just puts the lights out of it, and I could see him sticking around for sure.
I've told this story before. I've probably told you, Lee, but Doug Peterson and I got to be pretty good buddies when he was the coach here. And his son Josh is a really good player, like a plus. What is he? Hey, plus 3 or 4 probably player. Grows up playing in Louisiana when Doug was coaching there, and was an incredible youth player, youth golf, young golf, junior golf player. And what frustrated him is he had one guy he couldn't beat. He couldn't beat this guy, Sam Burns. He didn't know where Sam was headed, but he said he just couldn't beat this guy. Yeah. And David Tom's kid also played. There was 3 of them. David Tom's son, I don't know his name is, Sam Burns, and Josh Peterson. So Josh thought, I might as well take the football because I can't beat this one guy. Well, this one guy turned out to be pretty good.
Now he knows why. Yeah.
Now he has a pretty good idea why. Tell us about your trip. You're going up tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're going to head up tomorrow morning and probably get there tomorrow afternoon. Some of our good friends here with Miller Electric, going to meet them up there and just have a good time for the weekend. I don't see myself necessarily going to the golf tournament morning till night, but
yeah.
I haven't been to Augusta probably in 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
When I lived in Atlanta, we went every year for a few years. So I've probably been 5 or 6 times, but really look forward to seeing the property, some of the changes. Our lead rules official here at the Players Championship, Stephen Cox, is a visiting rules official at Augusta. So look forward to hopefully running into him on the holes that he'll be roving. on the back nine and kind of catching up. And it's just always like anything. You want to be in the ecosystem of the best golf tournaments in the world when you're sitting here at the Players Championship. And, there are representatives from the Masters that come down and visit our event and probably take away things for them to enact up there, just like we'll do up there. So I look forward to probably spending a lot of time tomorrow afternoon and then Sunday on the golf course and driving back. I'm sure, maybe some Coors Lights will be in my future as well.
I would imagine.
Based on what we've seen so far, who do you like to win the tournament?
I think I said on this show, I really like Xander. I just think he's been trending in the right way. And this is a golf course that seems to fit him pretty well. And I think when he's playing his best, he's making a lot of 4, 6, 8, putts under 10 feet. He doesn't miss many of those. I think he got off to a good start. If I were to, to pick one right now outside of, the obvious Scheffler and McIlroy, I think I would pick Xander. It was great to see Cam Young. We've been fortunate, depending on how you look at it, fortunate or misfortunate, unfortunate, to share a winner at the Players with the Masters the last 2 years with Scotty and Rory. And Cam didn't get off to a great start, but saved it on the back nine. So it'll be fun to watch him hopefully on the weekend as well.
Final thing before you go, what's the Players staff this time of year? Obviously, you're able to decompress a little bit. Obviously, you're never not selling, you're never not growing, you're never not thinking about the next event. I know that, but right now, what's top of the mind for you and your staff?
Yeah, a lot of recap meetings that we're finishing up. There's always areas for improvement. I think on your, what did Lombardi say, on your road to perfection, you maybe stumble on greatness. And so I think we continue to want to lean into really all the support and all the demand. So all of our recap meetings inside of our building, from TV to player relations to communications, media, really all the way across retail, all the way across the board, are really the things that we're wrapping up in kind of the first 60 days after Players. And then we'll really start to focus on new products and really new features that we have a lot of ideas on. And I think that's always one. And then June is the time where we will close the golf course and do a little of our, little earth moving and little nips and tucks here for fan navigation and competition related changes, which we have some ideas this year that we'll do during that month that the golf course is closed. So we're really kind of nailing down exactly what those are going to look like, and always excited about, only being 10 and a half months away or so, or 11 months away. So we're excited to move forward.
Comes fast, and we're glad it does. Have a great time in Augusta. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you. You got it.
Lee Smith, the Executive Director of the Players Championship and our golf analyst. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Jason Day proving his game is as interesting as his fashion these days. He sports the outlandish golf shirts, and Day put down a 3 under 69 to put himself on the first page of the leaderboard.
Shooting 3 under is always better than shooting, 2 under or 1 under. So I need to go to the range and work on some stuff. I need to make sure I'm staying on top of my speed, because I feel like the greens are only going to firm out and get faster.
It's only going to warm up from here as we head toward the weekend. Day had an early bogey at 3, but the 2015 PGA champion responded with birdies at 8, 12, 13, and 16. No more mistakes the rest of the first round. So Day is 2 off the lead, held by Sam Burns and defending champion Rory McIlroy. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Masters on Westwood One.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, That really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Maybe Jordan Spieth can give it a run this week. The 2015 Masters champion feeling more like himself after wrist surgery 2 years ago. Birdies at 8 and 9, then at 10, just right of the fairway off the tee. Spieth hit a little baby arm cut around the magnolia tree at 10, onto the green, 15 feet from the hole, made par there. Spieth is 2 under and 3 off the lead. As we check the leaderboard, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy both in the clubhouse with 5 under 67s. McIlroy was even today through 7, opening his Masters title defense, but birdies at 8, 9, then 3 in a row at 13, 14, and 15. McIlroy then parred the final 3, a 67, just like Sam Burns. It's McIlroy's lowest first round at Augusta since 2011 when he shot 65. At 3 under along with Jason Day, Scotty Scheffler, who is through just 8 holes. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie with big news. Nimnick Chevrolet's done it again. They're named the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 2025. You ready for this? That's 9 times, and still the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win the award. Why? Well, because at Nimnick, it's all about treating you right every time. Experience the difference at NimnickChevy.com. I can tell you this. I've been buying cars from Nimnick since 1982. Started at that Chevrolet store, and I learned how to buy cars, and I've been doing it ever since. So if you want a terrific place to buy cars or trucks, at the Nimnick. In fact, it's Truck Month at Nimnick, and it's bigger and better than ever. Nimnick Chevrolet is offering supplier pricing for everyone on new Chevy Silverados. So it doesn't matter the product. It can be a car, it can be a truck, an SUV, it can be new or used. Nobody does a better job than Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They keep treating you right. They give back to the community. I'm telling you, if you need a car, truck, SUV, new or used, you want to hit the Nimnick. Who does a better job? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell & Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell & Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned and operated business on the First Coast for nearly 20 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. They build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right the first time. When you need a fence in Jacksonville, trust Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
What's happening, folks? E.T. here, and it's that time of year again for the Taste of Golf at TPC Sawgrass happening April 22nd. Join me for fine cuisine from chefs from the top golf clubs in our area, craft cocktails, games, and exclusive auction items. This is one of the most impactful charitable events in our area. Come network with a sophisticated audience who is passionate about golf and its values. All proceeds benefit the kids of First Tee North Florida. For tickets, go to tasteofgolf.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We appreciate our friends from Stanley Pools. They have done it since 1988. 904-269-7277. Pools. They can take care of your pool. They can rebuild it. The backyard, the pergolas, the walls, the pavers, they do it all. Man, they're the best in the business at pools. Sure proud to be a spokesman for my friend at Stanley Pools. Go quick here because we got a little bit behind. So give you an update. Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy both finished today at 5 under par. Great day for them. Jason Day among those chasing him. Patrick Reed certainly knows that golf course very well, Hayes. 3 under par. Justin Rose, we talked about him yesterday, 45-year-old guy that could win this thing. He's at 3 under still on the golf course, as is Scotty Scheffler. So no real surprise that the names we're finding on this thing. And it looks like a gorgeous day out there, just watching it on TV.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, by far the biggest stunner right now is Fred Couples is 2 under through 14.
Isn't that great?
I mean,
great stunner.
And Lee hit the nail on the head. I mean, if he makes the cut, that will be phenomenal for the weekend. And obviously he's put himself in great position. So wonderful to see Freddie at 66 performing this well.
Yeah, he's playing really, really well. So we'll continue to track that for you. I do want to tell you the sort of news of the day today is we met with the Jags. The media met with the Jags. James Gladstone, the general manager, Liam Cohen, the head coach. We'll tell you more about what they said today. A lot of comments about kind of where they are, not as much where they're headed, nor should they show their hand on that. So we'll certainly talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about the spring game coming up right around the corner. A lot of things to get to today on the program. Right now, though, Hayes has headlines after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Some people call it X. What? Some still call it Twitter.
Okay, I got it.
Whatever you call it, it's the best place for up-to-the-minute Jags coverage from 1010XL.
Getting married? Celebrating an anniversary? Celebrate your love with new wedding bands and save up to $10,000 right now at Beard's Diamonds. Now through April 19th, buy one wedding band, get a second one free. It's Beard's most popular offer ever. You both get new wedding bands, but you only pay for one. Gold, platinum, titanium, all wedding bands included in this springtime event. Now through April 19th. Buy one, get one free. Only at Beard's at the St. John's Town Center.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Catch the sights and sounds of the great outdoors from anywhere in the city. Go hunting and fishing with Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
What if every day felt like a private resort in your backyard? Premier Outdoor Inc., Jacksonville's #1 pool builder in the 2025 Best of Bold City Awards, creates entire outdoor living spaces, not just pools, custom pools, heated spas, summer kitchens, cabanas, fireplaces, screen enclosures, and more. Veteran and first responder owned, turn your backyard into an unforgettable retreat. See what you could build at PremierOutdoorInc.net. Premier Outdoor Inc., a visionary of hardscapes and aquatics.
Parents, now is the time to sign your kids up for the best basketball league in the 904. Tommy Houlihan's Summer Beaches Basketball League. Season starts in June, and games will be played in the St. Paul's Gym. Go to TommyHoulihanBasketball.com for all the info.
Fight night is here. Join Dan and I at UNF Arena for Guns N' Hoses, Saturday, April 18th. You want to be a part of the pugilistic festivities? Go to GNHJags.com and get your tickets now. It's Guns N' Hoses, Saturday, April 18th.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harold and Harold. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Thank you to our friends at Harold & Harold. Give them a call at 251-1111. You can trust them. They'll take great care of you. Let's start with the Jaguars draft luncheon, Frank. I would agree. I don't know that a ton came out of it, but what was your impression of just the vibe between James Gladstone and Liam Cohen when you compare it to what we've seen with like Dave Caldwell, Gus Bradley, Trent Baalke, Doug Peterson, Doug Marrone, Tom Coughlin, Dave Caldwell? Interesting today.
Everyone's personalities are different. These guys are younger collectively than any of those groups even younger than Gus and Dave as a tandem. I think they're really good buddies. I think what stands out as much as anything else, they met with an air of confidence today. They won 13 games last year. They know they've got a good team. That looked like to me some guys. They weren't cocky. They weren't embraced. They're good. They're both really good dudes. But you can tell they're buddies. They were laughing and joking and cutting up a little bit today. What I took out of it more, to your question, Hayes, about the vibe and the relationship and the confidence, is the confidence. They looked like two guys that are comfortable in their skin, didn't they? We just won 13 games. Everybody knows the roster's built. If you did a power poll right now, at worst, they're a top 10, 12 team in the league, I think. Maybe better. That's what I took out of it. I love seeing they're buddies. They're fun. You can tell they're giving each other a hard time. I thought it was a fun day for two guys that like each other and like where they are.
Let's hear from both. We'll start with General Manager James Gladstone. This was Gladstone being asked about the position of strength the Jaguars are operating in. The roster looks pretty healthy, and they've got 11 picks to work with.
Yeah, really excited about it because, those slots that you're thinking about are more contributing slots. And when you're talking about first-year players, typically that's the expectation, is finding a way to contribute and offer a positive impact. And, it can be a little bit more challenging on the early end of a season as a rookie or even towards midseason to really feel that come to life. And in the instances that it does, that's great. But usually that's above the expectation, especially when you're talking about pick 50 and beyond, right? Which is where we find ourselves at this point. Excited about building off of last year's crop, knowing that it was just south of 11 picks. A couple in undrafted college free agency that were able to find their place. But look forward to sort of being in familiar territory this go around and being able to leverage prior experience with navigating the waters here in about 2 weeks time and have some fun with it.
Yeah, my take on that comment is it's nice to be able to draft a bunch of backups. It's nice to be able to draft a bunch of guys that we don't need to be starters and impact starters right out of the gate, and that means you're proud of the roster you've built.
Absolutely. Head coach Liam Cohen was asked what message he will give to the team when they come in for the start of voluntary off-season programming work on April the 20th.
You're chomping at the bit, especially after going to the owners' meetings and talking some smack and having some fun, but also it just feels a little bit closer, right, as getting the guys back in the building. And the entire message is we're attacking this offseason, and we're attacking the details, we're attacking our relationships, we're attacking our communication, because there's change, there's different communications and relationships that need to be blended and matched and pouring into each other from a detail standpoint. I think that's going to be key and critical. And getting better with less time. I think I mentioned that last week. Is we're fortunate last year as a first year staff to have an extra week, right? And we maximized the entire off season with less time as a coaching staff and with the players being extremely dialed into everything that we're trying to improve on. Those areas I talked about of stink, that we need to work on, and then continuing to focus on the fundamentals and techniques in which we always want to coach, but we're attacking everything that we're doing this offseason.
All right, I'll give you my bridge to that. We're attacking because we're pretty good. Let's go finish the job. That's what I took out of that. We had a pretty good year. Didn't finish it. Now let's go get the rest of it done. That's what I took watching him sitting in front of Liam today when he said it, and hearing you replay it right now.
Let's talk college football. We don't often get into the world of recruiting, but the Gators get a 5-star offensive lineman named Max Hiller from Pennsylvania. Credit Phil Trotwine, who was recruiting Hiller many years now. When he was the offensive line coach at Penn State, James Franklin gets fired, which may end up becoming one of the greatest things to ever happen to Florida, because Trotwine, now back at his alma mater, delivers the first 5-star offensive lineman for the Gators since Martez Ivey in 2015.
Wow, hard to believe. This is a great find for them. This one's about Troutwine, and he and Troutwine became buddies. You can tell it's more than they messed with each other on social media. This is more than just coach-player relationship. He's recruited him so long, to your point, since when he was at Penn State and Hiller was nearby. They've become buds, and that's one of the great ways to get guys like this. No, it's a great listen. If they're good at coaching football and win games, everything's set down there, Hayes. The question, but you have to add to it by winning the football game. So I think they're well positioned, and yeah, that's a big find for Florida.
And it speaks to what looks to be early on the biggest difference between Napier and Sumrall. This was an elite hire on Sumrall's part. The staffing, they got this kid because he hired Phil Trotwine. Billy Napier would have never even thought to hire Phil Trotwine.
Very great point.
So anyway, yes, it'll be interesting to see. And apparently, according to the Florida reporters that really follow recruiting, it sounds like Florida's got some more on the way. So it'll be exciting to see what UF can do on the recruiting trail. Let's get to college basketball. The Big Ten earned $63 million for the NCAA tournament performance. Obviously, Michigan wins the title, but we talked about how many teams they had advanced so deep. Conferences get payouts based on that. The SEC got the second most money at $50.4 million, but a big difference there. The Big Ten gets $13 million more than the next best conference. That's how dominating the Big Ten was in March Madness.
And that's fitting. I didn't know how that worked, but it's fitting. They were by far the best league. They were a good league. I don't know that the SEC was as good as the Big 12 at the top. The difference was SEC's got all that depth, 10 teams in the field. Well, the Big 10 was really good, man. I mean, you not just because two teams made the Final Four, but Purdue was really good, and Wisconsin had a good year. Nebraska had the best year they've had in years. Iowa knocked out Florida. I mean, that was a really, really good league this year. It really was.
Let's get it to the Masters. Rory McIlroy co-leading 5 under 67 for the day. Boy, did he dispel a lot of notions about a distracted defending champion not being ready. And Rory, has been dealing with the back, hasn't really played much lately. But what an opening round for Rory McIlroy as he tries to do something that only Tiger Woods and Nick Faldo have ever done.
Yeah, he and Sam Burns share the lead at 5 under after one day of play. I'll tell you this. You don't want Rory gaining confidence now. Rory's had all the stuff on the periphery, but he's a great, great, great player. We said this yesterday. He's one of only 6 players in the history of the sport to win all 4 of the existing majors right now. 6 players have ever done it. And no, when Rory gains some confidence, when Rory starts feeling it, look out. And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. By the way, we don't often talk about this in the course, but I don't want it to get lost. Every year the Masters does it, and it's just wonderful to see Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Tom Watson, the ceremonial tee shots. Jack Jack was funny. He was like, I'll keep doing it until I think I might kill somebody. And it was a little wayward today.
Yeah.
It was a little wayward today for Jack,
God
who's
bless him,
86.
God bless
But what
him.
a moment. What a great moment in sports.
Yeah, you're so right. And it makes me sad that Arnold's not there anymore to do it, Hayes. But I agree with you. I'm glad you brought that up. It is a great moment when we can truly recognize in the proper way the greats that made our sport even greater today. We should do it. I agree with you completely.
It's going to be a lot of fun. One thing that might not be fun for me is
I
the Loser Monday update. JJ took Xander Schauffele. He is playing very well, done for the day at 2 under. Frank took Scotty Scheffler, who is 3 under, playing very well. I took John Rahm, who stinks. I should have taken Jose Marie Olazabal if I was going to go Spain, because or I could have even taken Sergio Garcia, who has been better. But John Rahm, 4 over, not playing well at all. So
I will say this: it's amazing how many of these we do. And we don't make it to Saturday. I mean,
and I thought
all
for
these
sure
good,
this one would.
Yeah, all these good players. I mean, if you followed our Loser Money these last 3 years,
hasn't been a lot of drama.
It's astounding how many. Now he may rally, but I'm saying if he doesn't, it's one more time. We never make it to Saturday.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I think if he shoots like a 69, he'll probably make the cut. 70 even. But
the problem, though, again, is you're chasing. I mean, the odds that he's going to make up like 7 shots on Scheffler,
unless Xander falls off,
and 6 shots on Schauffele is very low probability. Not saying it's impossible, but very low probability.
I have a sad Fred Couples update.
Yeah, I went to go look.
Shot a 9.
I was gonna say, what happened?
He made a 9
because I'm looking for him. And he was
quadruple bogey.
What? I mean, do we have any details?
I'm not sure. I just saw they showed when he was lining up for a triple bogey, and
I literally was
I'm
looking.
assuming he hit
I was
it in
like,
the water.
He was at 2 under. I'm like, where is Freddie?
And
it's
a hard game.
Well, at least we got the 15 minutes of joy.
You know what?
Of thinking that the 66-year-old couples might be able to hang in.
I said this before.
He's still beating John Rahm, by the way.
He is. That's awesome. By the way, let me just say this. Fred Couples is almost to the day 1 year younger than me. So I look at him as a young guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just a young guy that struggled a little bit. That's all.
There you go. Let's
take.
Let's get it to the World Cup. JJ, tell us all about your new show.
Yes, thank you for asking. YouTube, go to 1010XL's YouTube page. Basically, I'm previewing all the groups of the World Cup up until the tournament. We're talking about club football. I'm doing whatever I want. They gave me a soccer podcast. I'm talking about whatever I want. It's just me. Thank you for the plug. 1010XL's YouTube page.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. And when's the next episode? There's already an episode out.
Yep. Every Monday we're doing it. So we're on 2 right now. Next week will be our 3rd. It's fun.
I'll give you the bad and the good. The bad news for me is I'm not much of a soccer fan. The good news is JJ's a terrific broadcaster, and you're going to love it. So if you're a soccer fan at all, you need to check that out. I mean that very sincerely.
Absolutely. We will get you out with today's musical note. On this date, back in 1983, David Bowie's Let's Dance hits #1 on the charts. This was Bowie's first song to hit #1 both in the U.S. and the U.K. I thought that was interesting. Also, then unknown Stevie Ray Vaughan plays guitar on this track. Bowie was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996. He died at the age of 69 in 2016.
All right, great work as always, and the great David Bowie. I got a thought about college football when we return. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Defending champion Rory McIlroy and Sam Burns have set the pace in the first round at the 90th Masters, both in the clubhouse with a 5 under 67. Patrick Reed in a group tied for third at 3 under, 2 back. The 2018 Masters champion shot 69, and he knows it could have been better.
Kind of just saw some perfect numbers there, some solid golf shots early on, and the 2 bogeys I had were actually quality golf shots. Misjudged the wind there on 10 and put in the spot you can't go, and absolutely flushed the 7-wood there on 15 that landed on the green and ended up somehow going into the water long. So I felt like I played a lot better kind of than the score. I just kind of hit the ball pretty solid, got myself a lot of good looks, and made a couple putts.
Yeah, Reed eagled the 2 par 5s on the first 9. He's only the second player to do that in Masters history, joining Henrik Stenson in 2015. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Masters on Westwood One.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Ludwig Oberg hitting potholes in the middle of his round. He was 3 under through 8 before a double bogey at 9, a bogey at 10, another bogey at 11. Oberg now 1 over, 6 off the lead. He was the runner-up 2 years ago, and he finished 7th last year. Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy card 5 under 67s. They lead here in this first round at 3 under, 2 back. Kurt Kitayama, Jason Day, Patrick Reed, all in the clubhouse. Justin Rose, 3 under through 12. Scotty Scheffler through 10. Scheffler made an eagle at 2, a birdie at 3, all pars since then. 66-year-old Fred Couples still has that swing like a metronome. He is 2 under through 14 and 3 off the lead. Also at 2 under, Shane Lowry, Xander Schauffele, both are in the clubhouse. Aaron Rye, Jordan Spieth, Gary Woodland, -2 as well. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
Florida Heat doesn't play games, but some AC companies do. You've heard the Too Good to Be True ads. Let's be honest. Nobody sends a licensed AC technician to your house for $25. Suddenly, your cheap tune-up turns into a $1,000 problem. At Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, we believe in taking care of our customers. Right now, you can chill out for just $99. That gets you a full AC diagnostic and the truth about your system. No scare tactics. Call 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. Termites, chinch bugs, roaches. It's their time of year to shine. Preventative maintenance is a heck of a lot cheaper than treating an active infestation. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule your free estimate.
Hey, Hickett here. Oh, buddy, it's my turn now. TopDressing.com coming to do my lawn, baby. Look, I met with their staff, salt-of-the-earth guys, locally operated right here in Jax. Heck, I've been troubled just like you by the St. Augustine grass since I've lived here. I can't wait to have their proprietary process go to work for me. I'm chatting with them now to get on the schedule. It's easy, and you can too. You want to truly transform your lawn, look like a golf course? Call today for a free estimate and top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
Double the action, double the fun. Join Sporting Jags Saturday, April 25th at UNF's Hodges Stadium for an exciting pro soccer doubleheader. The women's team gets things going at 2 against Lexington, featuring an appearance from competitive eating legend Joey Chestnut. Have a blast after in the fun zone before the men pick things back up at 7:30 against Miami. Secure your seats at sportingjax.com or call 863-KICK. That's 863-KICK. Pro Soccer, Pro Jax.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole group can enjoy? Welcome to indoor football. Welcome to the Jacksonville Sharks. Discover the thrill of the indoor league. Fast-paced, action-packed, and it's family fun. Be there when your Sharks take on the Orlando Pirates. Friday, April 17th at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff, 7 o'clock. Halftime performance by the world-famous Disconnected Canines. Ask about our family 4-packs. 4 tickets and $50 in food vouchers, all for only $100. There's no better value. Get your tickets now at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Country Night presented by Roland Reese Plumbing. Dust off your boots, throw on your camo, get ready for a night full of football fun and great music. Join us on the field after the game for our free autograph session, sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Tickets start at $15. Call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks!
Fins up.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by USA Park. John Summerall and the Gators have landed a monster offensive line commitment from 5-star Maxwell Hiller out of Pennsylvania, the 4th-ranked player in the country. Hiller chose the Gators over Alabama, Ohio State, and Tennessee, and is the highest-ranked O-line recruit for the Gators in years. What a get by John Summerall. It's 67 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We sure appreciate our friends from Stanley Pools. Man, they do a great job. And they service pools, too. We never worry about our pool. It always looks perfect because my friends at Stanley Pools take care of it. 904-269-7277. Frangie and Carline La Selva with you. Here's the answer. I've pushed for this before, and I know there's way bigger problems in college football than this one. But now more than ever, if you want college football in the news, why not now launch you can play a scrimmage against another team and televise it in the spring? Why not? Why not Florida, UCF? I'm not saying go all over the country and add travel expenses. Why not Georgia Tech, Georgia Southern, right? Why not Clemson, ECU? Why not put a bunch of those games together, play it in the spring, let everybody know, the television networks know you're going to play your backups in the second half. It can still be control it. Everybody agree to play 15-minute running clock, which is what Florida's going to do. Now, and you test your team better against somebody else. And I know you want to hide what you get the one crack at it for one game. I get it. But why not now, more than ever? There'd be money in it. Lord knows every team wants more money. Well, if you could play that game in April and make more money, even if it's incremental dollars, TV dollars, ESPN would be all over it. There's no doubting that. You're not extending the semester, so it's not an academics thing. You're practicing that day anyway. Why not play each other, have some games that are fun? It's almost like the joint practices in the NFL, and people get an idea of what their team has because it's all televised. Why wouldn't you do that?
I would love to see it. I think it's a great idea. I mean, even if you just charged like $25 to attend it,
that's right.
If you ended up with 70,000 people, which I think for a lot of the schools you mentioned would, if there was an actual opponent, then it becomes a big money maker. And I like your idea of joint practices as well. You could even do that in the lead up. So maybe
that's right.
Maybe you take I don't know that a coach would want of their 15 take 3. but you could. But certainly maybe take 2 and do a joint practice, and then have the game, and and protect yourself a little bit that way in terms of your really important players, and being able to control the contact a little bit, like we see in the NFL where they do the joint practices and then they don't necessarily play their top guys in the preseason game. But yeah, I mean, for what you're trying to say, though, from a revenue standpoint, it would make a lot of sense. And again, it could be structured between the 2 head coaches. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a live game. But I think it would certainly, I mean, if Florida was hosting UCF tomorrow, I certainly wouldn't have a decision to make, which I still do, because I was hoping it was going to be televised, and it is not. But yeah, I mean, it certainly, I think there would be the interest in it. I think it would be a moneymaker. And yes, if you did it, if you scheduled it with the thing is, you'd have to, like, does Florida then want to go to UCF next year for their spring game? And my guess is they would not.
Right.
But your point larger, forgetting logistics of it, it would make a lot of sense for the NCAA to adopt that policy for competitive reasons, but mainly because it is something that people will pay to see.
Florida could play UCF. Miami could play FAU. FSU could play USF. Georgia Tech could play Georgia Southern. Georgia could play Troy. Clemson could play ECU. Alabama could play Jacksonville State. Auburn could play UAB. They're all D1 teams, okay? They're not all Power 4. They're all D1 teams. Nobody's getting on a plane. Every game I just read off, nobody's getting on a plane. You're hopping on a bus and driving a couple hours and going and playing. Fans would the bigger school would be the home team. You just have to live with it. That's just kind of how it is. And everybody wins. And by the way, if Florida's got to drive to Orlando, who cares? So, but the bottom line is, you could cut a bunch of 2-year deals. That's what the teams would be. And then maybe the next year, then Florida plays USF a couple times. And again, it's a scrimmage. It's okay to play another good team as a scrimmage. Last I'll talk about. I promise I won't talk about it again tomorrow. But I can't imagine that protecting who you are, what you look like, is so incredibly important to these coaches that it trumps showing your product to recruits all over the country. I just can't imagine, from everything you hear about Florida and everything I'm being told, they're going to play with tempo, and maybe that's what they don't want anyone to see. But guess what? Auburn's going to see it after they do it against FAU and Campbell. It's not. They're going to see it, right? And FAU probably isn't beating them even if they see it. And then in Campbell, now Campbell's a little dicey. But no, I mean, the truth is none of those guys are going to beat him anyway. So if you're recruiting and you're recruiting some big time quarterback and receiver, why not show them 2 hours of you playing upbeat and go. What talk about a recruiting tool? What could possibly be a better recruiting tool than that? It's
the only mistake I think Summerall has made.
I said that yesterday.
Because it does seem like this is his decision. And, again, we'll see if he's ever asked about it. Maybe he'll address it, maybe he won't. But it seems like it's a Summerall decision because it just, to your point, everything's televised. So if they wanted it, even if ESPN or SEC Network was like, well, we're not going to, we've got something else we're doing at noon on Saturday that's live that we feel like is more important than your spring game, then you still, if you're Florida, could say, well, can't you just run it later that night or run it Tuesday or wherever? And they would. Florida just clearly does not want it televised, and you have to think that's a coaching decision. And again, he wasn't going to throw a perfect game.
Right.
And,
that's right.
And the perfect game is over.
Yeah, I will tell you this. What I'm hearing from Gator Camp is they really believe there's something with this passing game. There's a real belief now that with, again, I'm guessing it's going to be Philo, but again, Tramel's from here. I probably shouldn't be saying that because it's an even battle right now. It's just a guess. And I have no rational reason to guess that. I haven't seen him. I haven't watched him.
Well, if Tramel had the offensive coordinator last year and Philo hadn't,
right?
That's the reason.
You're right. You're right. Let me rephrase that. I've got a rational reason to expect it, but I don't know it. That's the better way to say it. So, but the bottom line is there's a belief now down there that there's going to be something special in the. Well, the running back's good. Yeah, there's no doubting that. There's nobody doubting the skill they've got outside. That if Vernell Brown and Dallas Wilson, Eric Singleton stay healthy, and then Bailey Stockton is the fourth guy, and this guy Mays, is it Mays?
Micah
Mays, who's turning heads. They're going to have the weapons. So again, if it's what I'm being told, play fast, get the ball out of your hand, go, 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 go. Again, here's what I can tell you from everything I'm told. It's not going to be Georgia Tech running Haynes King every play. I mean, that was the first thought. I think, in fairness, I think that narrative got squashed pretty quickly because I think people pretty quickly learned that before Buster Faulkner was calling all these read plays where Haynes King kept the ball because that's what he does best, he was a wide open guy at Valdosta State with the Mike Leach, Hal Mummy offense. So he certainly has done both.
And unless you have a Terminator type quarterback who refuses to get hurt and will just bang his head into the line for like 25 times a game, then you're not going to be able to run that off.
Correct. I mean, you coach to what you have.
Yeah, that guy was 1 in a million, man.
But the word seems to be that people are going to love them. And I just get this hunch, this Aaron Philo guy is going to, I told Shane this today. I was on Shane's show. I think he's going to remind us, of a Spurrier quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Shane or Werfel or Rex or any of those guys, but I think he's going to be like that. Not the biggest guy, not the strongest arm, but just a really good, efficient quarterback that completes a lot of passes. That's my guess. I mean, he's the leading passer in the history of the state of Georgia where Trevor Lawrence and others played. You know?
And Faulkner is probably the closest thing in terms of how he views the game, the offensive passing game, to Spurrier that they've had. Because I don't think Mullen really had a lot of Spurrier in him.
I mean, by the way, that's 100% correct. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what Mullen was a good play caller, but it was nothing like the Spurrier route tree. It wasn't. So you're exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah. So you got to go then.
Yeah.
You got to.
I might.
Are you thinking about going now? Are you making an adjustment?
I'm still holding out hope that we'll get the press release
at the 11th hour,
11 o'clock Friday night. That the game is going to be televised.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
I don't either.
From what I'm being told.
But you know me, I'm an optimist.
You are.
I'm going down with the ship.
You're gonna.
But if it's,
you know what, you're honest. If nothing else, I'm going to go down there when Thomas Houck announces he's coming back.
Yeah.
You'll watch it on TV.
Be there in person for that.
If they haven't announced that it's televised by like 9:30 in the morning on Saturday,
you're getting in the car.
I may get in the car.
I respect that. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Just a little bit dangerous.
Put your swords away for a second.
1010 XL.
Sports fans, ET here, and when I need to send a floral arrangement, there's only one thought, and that's Kuhn Flowers. A simple phone call or an online order. It's always easy with Kuhn. There's a reason Kuhn Flowers been doing it for over 75 years. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at KeyBuickGMC.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Gators in the morning, Florida for lunch. A late night Gator snack. Whenever you're ready, the Gator Podcast channel is too. Set up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Jacksonville, David Garrard here. If you want a street-legal golf cart that's built with quality and style, check out Dynamic Drives and Designs in Jacks Beach. They have new, used, and fully customized carts from the top brands like Atlas, Dodge, and Pilot Car. Every cart gets a complete expert inspection, so you know it's ready to hit the road. Their team can help you design the perfect custom cart that fits your style and needs. For your custom golf cart, visit DynamicDrivesDesign.com today and see your perfect ride.
This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee. Can you imagine owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Imagine enjoying fresh produce from the garden, fruit from the orchard, meats from the smokehouse. Every meal is a true farm-to-table experience all year long. belong to a place where your family can choose nature over screens, spending their days feeding animals, picking berries, and fishing in the farm's pond. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Hey, gang, Prosser here for my friends Chad and Sandy. What are your concerns? What struggles do you anticipate when it comes time to sell your home? What is it that bothers you? What's keeping you from getting max money as quickly as possible? Well, I don't know what those reasons are because I know they're all silly. Because Chad and Sandy have one down-to-the-line guarantee. Your home sold guaranteed, or they will buy it. It'll be at a price and a rate that you agree upon beforehand. So if you need to sell now, fast, easy, stress-free, and you need max price, then you need Chad and Sandy. The government's making moves intended to push mortgage rates lower. The last time rates dropped, we saw a selling and buying frenzy. Now's the time to prepare. It's time to call Chad and Sandy. Darcy in San Jose did. I wanted to move to a more walkable, vibrant area. Within 3 days of working with Chad and Sandy's team, I found the perfect home. They do it stress-free with a guarantee. Go to chadandsandy.com or call 414-6200. That's chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We sure appreciate our friends from Stanley Pools. What a wonderful job they do. Located in that Orange Park area, they can get to wherever you are in town. 904-269-7277 is the number to call, and they do a great job with screen enclosures and pavers and pergolas in the backyard, and they're the best in the business at building your pool, taking care of your pool, renovating it. My friends at Stanley Pools, always a Stanley Pool Thursday on this program. Frangie and Carline with you. JJ LaSelva, let's reset it from the top of the program quickly, Hayes. The Jaguar Brass, that means James Gladstone and Liam Cohen, met with the media today. Again, you and I have kind of gone over what the peg of that was. I think the peg was we're in a pretty good spot. Two or three things I took out of it. A, they're very confident. They're confident, loose, cutting up with each other. B, I love the fact that Liam Cohen said we're going to attack. That means we're going to finish the job. That's what I took out of that. James Gladstone said that the areas it looks like they're going to emphasize, the defensive line, outside linebacker, edge, seem to be well fortified in the draft. They don't seem to be concerned with the fact that they are drafting 56. I didn't think about this. But they said we've waited a lot longer. I didn't think about this. Well, when they were together with the Rams, numerous times the Rams drafted lower than that. One time their first pick was in the hundreds.
Yeah, it was like 104.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they're well versed with having to wait.
Yeah. So my take on all of it was confident. Love where they are. You could see the fun banter between them. Liam says we're about to attack, which means we're going to go finish the job. James Gladstone made it sound like he didn't want to use these words, but and I don't remember the exact words he used, but we're finding supplemental pieces. We're not going out there needing to find key starters. And again, I think that's the word he used, but you get the gist. So confident, like the fact that where they are going to be, the players they are going to be drafted are plentiful. Don't mind drafting not till 56 because when they were at the Rams, they drafted much lower than that many times. Gonna attack. Gonna finish the job. I walked out of there I felt pretty good about this team the whole offseason. I walked out of that thing today feeling even better.
Well, and I think the other thing, too, is James Gladstone is probably going to do something that is going to surprise us. Now, I don't think it'll be on the Travis Hunter blockbuster level, but they're at 56. I mean, they've got 11 picks, and there's just no way 11 draft picks are making the 53-man roster. And you hate to just draft guys that, come to camp and get cut, and probably since they were drafted, somebody's going to claim them because it's going to be like, well, and there's a lot of clubs out there that are in desperate need for talent, and they're going to say, hey, the Jaguars took this guy in the 7th round. We liked him. He got released. Let's bring him in. So it's hard to get, draft picks through waivers to get on your practice squad. And so when you look at it, they're at 56. Could they make a move up the board? And, it's really not overly, out of the realm for them to go to from 56 to like 45. Now, again, they've got the 3 third-round picks, and they may want to take 4 players in that span. Could a 4th and a 6th, move you up somewhat? Yes. Would it be enough? But you start to think about that defensive tackle board. And again, not to say Dane Brugler, whatever he says is gospel when it comes to the NFL draft, but obviously somebody that produces a 700-page comprehensive draft guide probably has some idea of what he's talking about. And when you look at how he lays out the top 100 talents in this draft, there is just a steep drop at defensive tackle once you get beyond the first 6, which Brugler has as the top 64 players in the draft. He doesn't have anybody in his top 100 that plays defensive tackle from 65 to 100. And who knows? I mean, maybe that's not to say the defensive tackle, the next one's 101. It might be 119. That is a massive gap. And again, he may not be correct. That may not be how Gladstone views it, but it's probably not radically off. There probably is some drop-off in talent once you get beyond the first 6 defensive tackles. So, yeah, there isn't a sense of panic with them being at 56. They've been there before, but it certainly seems like they may have to be somewhat aggressive if by like pick 42, 5 defensive tackles have now gone off the board. And that will be, I think, the interesting thing to really watch out for on Friday. I don't think there's any chance they're trading back into the first round, like, at all. I don't think there's a player there that would excite them that much to give up what would have to be the 27 first.
And not a need that extreme.
Yeah.
That's the other part of that.
So, but I do think that eventually he's going to make a move in this draft. Now, it might be Saturday. It might be moving up from a 5th round to a 4th round or things like that. But they're not taking 11 guys, I don't think. So the real question is, at what point does James Gladstone make a deal to improve, this draft positioning? Because I think there's almost no way it doesn't happen at some point.
Yeah, you would certainly think so. So we'll continue to track it. A couple of things I took out of there too. Today was the day to talk about draft, not about guys that are already there. But we did ask, the media did ask about Travis Hunter. James Gladstone answered the question, and he said he's going to be limited until training camp and then full go in training camp. That's an abridged, but that's essentially what he said. My guess is they're just being very cautious with him, which is smart. I don't get the sense at all that there's any fear that Travis Hunter, other than something new, any relapse. Don't you get that sense? I mean, he
should be fine.
He had knee surgery. But I think the general belief is that in terms of health issues, we're not that far removed from Trevor Lawrence not being able to participate at all in the offseason. We've had, Travis Hunter got hurt in the season. Caleb Branshaw got hurt before the season. Wyatt Milam was never really completely healthy. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, Jordan Lewis got lost in the season. So I don't get the sense that any of that's in. Don't you get that sense? I mean, it's a healthy group going into the OTAs, I think.
It is.
More than not.
The two that concern me are Cole Van Lanen and Jordan Lewis. Van Lanen, and the reason for both is they both were sustained late in the year. So obviously there just isn't as much time for those players to recover. But Jordan Lewis having a foot injury, that's a concern at that position. And not that he's extremely old, but he's more on the back nine of his career than the front nine. So that's a concern because they need to have Jordan Lewis. By week 1. He doesn't have to go through OTAs. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and they know what he is. I mean, they trust him. But you'd like to see him be able to get out there maybe the 3rd week of training camp, at least get the rust off before the opener. And Van Lanen is interesting to see, with the knee. What is that going to look like for him? I would imagine that, he probably isn't available for the start of training camp, but at some point in training camp is able to get out there and hopefully has enough time to be ready for week 1. So those are the two. I'm really not concerned about Travis Hunter. He'd almost have to have a radical setback, for that injury to become something that keeps him out for 10 months.
Yeah, and I'll say this. If you're right, if the two guys who take the longest to get back to full strength are Cole Van Lanen and Jordan Lewis, I'm okay with that because they're two of the smartest guys on the team. They're two guys that I don't think need reps in the system. And everybody needs reps, just the rust and whatnot. But in terms of the intellectual part and the knowledge part, I think both those guys have a pretty good idea what they're doing. So we'll see. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Last time we saw Rory McIlroy in a tournament round at Augusta National, he was on his knees, clutching his head in celebration of the career Grand Slam. Today, more reason for celebration. A 5 under 67 to tie for the lead. And Rory told SiriusXM he hung in there after a shaky start.
I would say I was very patient out there today. Took advantage of the par 5s, held a couple of nice putts there on the 13th and 15th. And yeah, it's going to require patience the next 3 days as well. It's only going to get tougher and firmer. It is a tactical test already, but even more so. You just have to think your way around here. And, I think experience is going to count for a lot come the end of the week.
McIlroy says he'll spend the rest of the day at the Champions locker room. He'll put that green jacket back on and enjoy a drink. Well earned. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Masters on Westwood One.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Colin Morikawa felt he was stuck in Quikrete today as he signed for a 2/74. Dealing with a back injury, Morikawa insists he wasn't in pain, but he wasn't comfortable at all. The two-time major winner is 7 off the lead. Rory McIlroy and Sam Burns at the top, 5 under 67s for both. Justin Rose just moved into solo third with a birdie at 13. Rose is 4 under, 1 back. At 3 under par, Kurt Kitayama, Jason Day, and Patrick Reed all shooting 69. Scotty Scheffler dropping a shot at 11. He is 2 under and 3 off the lead. Bryson DeChambeau, a 4 over 76, including a triple bogey at 11. John Rahm, the 2023 Masters champion, 6 over through 14. That's 11 off the lead. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Some plumbing companies say they're local, right up until you realize their headquarters are in New York City. At Hall & Sons Plumbing, we're actually from here. Born, raised, and fixing leaks right here in Jacksonville. Hall & Sons Plumbing. Local. Family. Real.
Frank Frangie here, and Big Chief Tire makes it easier than ever to get the tires you need with the Big Chief credit card. No annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, and right now, $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and get the tires you need today. That's Big Chief Tire.
What two vegetables are combined in making succotash?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
In order to make succotash, you'll need dry corn and dry beans. Suffering succotash was made famous by Sylvester the Cat.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
The golden moment today was our friend Lee Smith stopped by, the best golf analyst I know, man. He does a terrific job. Stopped by to talk golf with us and to talk all about the Masters. And he's on his way up there to watch the Masters. He and his wife are going up this afternoon or tonight, and we'll be there all day tomorrow and most of the weekend, then come back afterwards. But he sure knows golf and gave us an idea of what he thought of the first round of the Masters, and that was the golden moment. Rory McIlroy, by the way, continues to lead. He and Sam Burns both in the clubhouse with a 567 for the day. Patrick Reed, by the way, he's going to be worth watching, isn't he? He knows that course. He grew up in North Georgia.
Yeah, he's got a great history there.
Yeah, he really does. So that'll be a guy worth keeping an eye on, I think.
He got really unlucky on 15 today when you thought it was going to be like an eagle opportunity. It bounced off the green, which we've seen 1,000 times, and went all the way into the water, which I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah. So he went from thinking he was about to have like an eagle opportunity to I think he bogeyed that hole.
So here's the question. Hayes Carlin, who hails from the Bowl School, that they're asking all over the country right now. They're asking this in Norway. I heard it's the number one question streaming in Norway today. Would this be your greatest during the streak? Would this be your greatest comeback? Would this be the greatest moment during the streak? If the streak stays alive,
because he's at 6 over.
Yeah. And again, now if you do come back,
I'm trying to think
this might be the greatest.
I think it would have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Because I mean, the other thing that we talked about, it's not just. I mean, he's 8 shots back of Scheffler,
right?
And Schauffele. They're both at 2 under.
Right.
So Yeah, I would say,
And they're both
I
pretty
can't,
good
and nothing
players.
springs to mind in terms of that. So
You would have remembered that forever. If there was a
Yeah.
comeback like that, you
I
probably would
think-
have had it tattooed
Will
on you. Or something.
you
Yeah.
know your way to Bonos?
I will.
Okay.
I
It's
will.
been a
and
while.
You
Been a
guys,
minute.
yeah, it's part of it. That's sports. So I'll be there Monday, and I'll text you guys around probably 12:30 that afternoon.
Over a year.
I guess your orders. Yeah.
It's been over. I mean, that's how good this guy. Most streaks you just hate to see him come to an end. JJ, this one doesn't bother me.
I wanted this one to come to an end for a long
If
time.
this one comes to an end, this one doesn't bother me. It's usually the sad day when the streak ends. Won't be all that sad for us. So, but Hayes has been beating our butt for about a year and a half on this Loser Monday thing. But who knows? There's another day of golf, right? There's another. It's more.
What's the course record and where's the first hole? That's if you're John Rahm. That's the question tomorrow.
What's the first? Where's the first tee? And what's the course record? Well, here's the thing. It wouldn't be unlikely for Rahm to burn it up tomorrow.
Right.
The question is, I don't think Scheffler or Schauffele are going to collapse.
Right.
And
You need
to
a
be,
little
I mean,
both.
really, if he comes in at 6, now you're talking about
You got to go like 4 under.
He's got to
to
put
make
up
the
like a
cut.
65, probably. Well,
To
not
make-
that, but
gotta
but
play
yeah,
really
he'd
well
have
to get the.
have to be just to get to the
68,
weekend.
67.
Yeah,
Probably.
so he'll go in the morning, so maybe that'll help. But it's hard to. My guess is what's happened to him because he, obviously was in great form, but plays on Live, and it was something that was discussed, like on Live from the Masters, Chambly and the analysts on set sort of went through it and questioned the difficulty of those courses, and do those courses, as great as his numbers are, do those courses get you ready for what kind of a test you're going to face at Augusta National, even if you're familiar with Augusta National, if you've been playing on live courses that aren't up to speed. And certainly that has to be considered very relevant today and a very credible theory, because it wasn't just Rahm. Rahm and DeChambeau are 10 over combined, and they were very high on many people's lists to win this event.
Yeah,
so,
DeChambeau was one of the favorites.
Yeah, so
I think Reed's like the only live guy that did
but he's
really
not even a
anything.
live guy now.
He's not?
No. So he's been playing on the DP World Tour.
Oh, I see.
And he's trying to get back, and it is getting back on the PGA Tour, but his is a different situation than Koepka's. So Koepka was able to come back immediately. Reed has to wait. I think he
They're
can.
like, you're not as big a name.
Correct,
You have
basically,
to-
yeah. So, because Koepka was able to come back because they basically picked an arbitrary date and said something to the effect of, if you've won a major since, and it was right after Mickelson had won his, because they didn't want Mickelson back. So Koepka had won a major in that span. Patrick Reed did not. He won the Masters in, I believe, 2018. So Reed is coming back to the PGA Tour. He just isn't getting back as quickly as Koepka, and it'll be great to have him back on the PGA Tour. And it's great that he's playing well now, but he doesn't count for live in this. He hasn't been playing on that tour. So really, when you look at the guys that they really, it really
I don't even know
is,
how many there
it's
are.
really 2 guys. It's DeChambeau and it's
Patton,
Rahm.
but I think he's like one over today.
But all those other guys, Cam Smith, I think could have been great, was on his way to being great, had won the Players, won the British Open. And I think he just literally was like, I don't care. If you're going to hand me this amount of money, I'm going to stop working on my game. And he has. It's Cam Smith's done nothing.
He doesn't even do
since he
good on
went
the
to
live tour.
No, he's got about as much chance as Ian Woosnam would have. And it's the same with Dustin Johnson and Bubba Watson and Sergio Garcia and the guys that, now they're older than Cam Smith, but they basically treated it like, I'm selling my business. And, I'll still have to show up for certain things, but I have cashed in, sold my interest in the business, which is my golf game, for a bunch of money. So Liv really only has 2 guys. And the fact that they're both playing so poorly and really are probably not going to be around for the weekend.
And Patrick Reed a live guy?
He used to be, but he isn't.
He just said a couple months ago, I guess he left.
He's been on the DP World Tour for the last few months. Is his progress back to the PGA Tour. So he was a live guy, but he has not been playing on the live tour. Right. And so the numbers that DeChambeau and Rahm have put up on the live tour obviously are not translating. So is it a coincidence? Is it one bad day of golf for 2 great players? Perhaps, but it lends credibility to the theory that the courses those guys were playing on are nowhere near the courses that the PGA Tour players, the DP World Tour, European Tour, that they were playing before getting to Augusta. And that's why you're seeing, it doesn't really matter anymore because LIV is basically, it's basically evaporated in terms of relevancy. But it is embarrassing for them that their two stars are playing as poorly as they're playing.
Fred Couples, by the way, God bless him, shot 34-44. Now, let me tell you what.
Wow. Oh, geez.
He's 34-44. Let me say, and Fred and I being of similar age, I can tell you that I've never shot 34, but I've shot 37. I shot 37-44 this year. I mean, these guys don't ever. I've shot 30. I actually shot.
You had a 9 on one hole.
I've shot 37, and I've shot 38-48. So he's normal.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with being normal. He's like the rest of us, for God's sake.
That would have been a fun story.
It really would.
We kind of knew, but still.
Yeah.
It was like seeing a leading Duke at half.
Yeah,
you
right.
knew it wasn't going to last,
That's
but
right.
you were going to enjoy it for as long as it did.
Jordan Spieth won. And boy, I'd love to see Jordan make it. Of all, about Jason Day's at 300. I'd love to see Jason Day.
It's a great leaderboard.
Yeah,
honestly,
because it's young
Kurt
and old.
Kitayama, where are you at?
It's just young. Him I don't care about. Okay, but everybody else I do. We'll take a break. We'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NHL Stanley Cup playoffs will begin in a few weeks, and the Colorado Avalanche are the betting favorite at plus 300 to hoist the cup. They have the most points in the NHL and have clinched the #1 seed in the Western Conference playoffs. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they are plus 370 on the Carolina Hurricanes on top of the Metropolitan Division, are plus 500. The Dallas Stars, second in the Central Division, are plus 1,100 to win the Stanley Cup. The Vegas Golden Knights are plus 1,200. The Edmonton Oilers are plus 1,400 to win the Cup. The last Canadian team to win the championship was Montreal back in 1993.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keystoprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Let me tell you something smart homeowners are doing. They're getting ahead of problems before summer shows up. Now, right now at Duck Duck Rooter, there are 3 really good reasons to call. You can get your AC checked out and ready for summer for just $99. Got a big plumbing repair coming up, like a whole house repipe? You can save $500. And if it's time to pump your septic tank, the Duck Duck crew will run a sewer camera inspection for only $99, in addition to the price of the pump out. 3 great deals, 1 trusted team. Call 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Surf into Summer Surf Camp. Jacksonville and its beaches' #1 surf camp is now registering for camps this summer. For registration and session dates, go to surfintosummer.com. Surf into Summer, Jacksonville Beach's premier surf camp.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Morgan Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building. So now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Maybe you have concerns about putting your home on the market and getting it sold. Well, let me alleviate those for you. There's a real quick solution. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold or they will buy it. Call 414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. You'll find out for yourself. Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts I trust and recommend with the sale of your home or mine. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Anthony and Mary in Palmco said, we needed to sell our home to move closer to family, but low cash offers weren't cutting it. Since we'd only bought a year earlier, options felt limited, but not for Chad and Sandy. Call Chad and Sandy today, or log on to chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, the Masters well underway. What's caught your attention there, Rick?
Just how firm the golf course has become in the afternoon, particularly the greens. I mean, you look at who's playing well, it's really only Justin Rose in the afternoon. Everyone else, for the most part, par golf or struggling. Those great tee times were, earlier this morning. So this is encouraging to me because the leaders beginning on Saturday obviously are last to tee off. And if the weather continues this way, and my understanding is it's supposed to be this way over the next 3 days, with it getting a little bit warmer, that's going to firm things up and make for a very competitive Saturday and Sunday late rounds. To me, that's what it's all about.
You better believe it's going to be an awful lot of fun. What'd you take out of the presser today? We were all down there.
Yeah.
Gladstone and Liam Cohen.
I liked him coming out talking about how edge is loaded, and obviously they need an edge, they need a defensive tackle, and they need a off the ball linebacker. So I just think of former general managers, going back to Shaq Harris or Gene Smith all the way up, and would they have ever said anything like that? So it's not like it was groundbreaking news, but at least it was a tiny bit of transparency there. And he told us about Travis Hunter today and a few other things. So it was worth the trip to the Miller Electric Center, and it was good to hear from him. I love how they kind of chuckled at the fact that they don't have a top pick and just how that process is going to be. And I just sat there staring at him, James Gladstone, thinking, what has he got up his sleeve? Could he possibly move up? I'd be shocked if it's first round. But if he loves a guy, let's say at 42, 43, 44, do you put something together to move up a dozen or so spots to get the guy you really covet?
Yes, Hayes was making the same point.
Yeah. Hayes, smart guy.
Yes, he is. What's coming up tonight?
We got all that. Masters updates. Certainly, I'll go through what I, in depth, what I witnessed today over at the Miller Electric Center with Gladstone and Cohen, and we'll keep people updated on Day 1 at Augusta. So, hey, I'm fired up for the show.
All right, Rick Beluga's into the night. That happens right now. We'll see you tomorrow one more time this week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're out of here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Rory McIlroy has a share of the lead.